Hello and welcome back to another Miners Workshop video. This is Blackout Triple O, and today we're doing the Minecraft video game consoles series, or whatever it's called now. And today I am going to be working on the Game Boy line. So, see ya! There are two reasons I am sitting right here. One, to show you the adjustments I've made on my original Game Boy, and also it really does help obscure some of the other consoles. So I'll get into the adjustments to the Game Boy, but first we have some things to get taken care of. First, over here, new sign by the way, we have a map. Okay, it's a map, not going to show it too long, might spoil it. And we have the Atari logo. I finally got around doing it. And it's okay. Some adjustments already are the screen. I changed the sea lanterns to glowstone, and I changed kind of the shape. I actually made it a block taller, and to kind of curve this, because in the real thing there is a curve right here, I kind of use a stair. It sort of works. You kind of have to be from like a distance. I don't know. Changed the buttons here. They look more realistic to the actual buttons on the system. And the reason also why I adjusted everything is actually I now own a Game Boy, one of this model, and it just really did help with just getting the right shape and the colors and everything. Put Donkey Kong inside because it's bigger. Okay, so moving on to the side, and you can see we already have, I believe this is where the contrast wheel is. It's a wheel, not a button. This is where, oh shoot, it's not a headphone jack. I'm trying to think of what it is now. It might be a port. Shoot. Man, it's been a long time since I played with it. No, here's one of the ports, and this is the volume. The headphone jack's down here, but obviously you can't see that. Around back, not much. Changed the cartridge. Changed the button a little bit. And yeah, it's kind of just taller. Looks a bit better. So as you can probably see from all my moving around, some of the other consoles, so I'll move on. This is the Game Boy Pocket, and it's pretty much the same thing as this guy, but with the name you can kind of tell it's just the Game Boy Pocket. It's a smaller version, but this thing up here is probably catching your eye. This is the Game Boy camera. Have no idea. Well, I do have an idea when it was released, somewhat, but Anyway, at the time it was the world's smallest camera, I believe. Pretty sure on that. And yeah, Game Boy printer right here. It's yeah, this is it. This is one thing on my builds is I want to change the texture for the plastic cover of where the battery is. Oh, excuse me. Because I want to show off that it's where the battery is, because otherwise you won't be able to tell. But yeah, it was kind of hard actually building this because it's almost the same size as actually the standard Game Boy. So yeah, chose the red, you know, stuff. So yeah, okay, moving on to the Game Boy Color. Oh, that is the phone. Let's let it ring. Let's let it ring. Okay, I think it's gone. Okay, so this is Game Boy Color. It sure doesn't look like it, I know, because it's actually the clear version of the Game Boy Color. You can see that even though it is the clear Game Boy, there's blocks inside. This is for two reasons. One, I decided to build a house in here, or what you could call a house. And two is the actual Game Boy itself obviously has a circuit board and a screen, but it also has kind of like this film that goes over all of it that's kind of whitish, and then there's a few little blocks here and there. So it's quite neat. So I'll show you inside real quick. And there's no really good way of getting inside besides breaking blocks. So yeah, it's very ugly in here. Here's the batteries. I mean, it's functional, but certainly pretty ugly. Yeah, go up here. There's a bed. And there's a door out there, but I don't want to get stuck. And it's obviously not nighttime, so yeah. Let's fix this. Okay, so moving. Rain, rain, rain. The bane of all Minecraft players. Command. Oh yeah. All good. Okay, let's get rid of this. Okay, so this is Game Boy Advance, and what I tried to do here is make it look like it was turned on by kind of some way replicating the Game Boy startup It's weird. Obviously, I can't get it any better than that. So, one thing to note, I put stone bricks along the sides to make it more round, because without them, it really does not look nearly as good. And honestly, it's not my favorite build. Like a lot of these others are a lot better. It just was kind of a meh. It didn't. The shape was really hard to make, and again, here's the same technique I was using for the batteries. Um, yeah, it was really just kind of odd shaped. Kind of made a house out of this one, but again, meh. It's really hard with some of these designs. Obviously, the GameCube, there's so much space in that, and like N64, so much space. But like with some of these, as well, that's if you notice. I mean, as more modern we get, wait, the smaller and smaller it gets. I was tricking myself at the end of that sentence. Like, nope, you're saying it wrong. Nope, it's good. It was all good. So yeah, this is the Game Boy Advanced. Yeah, okay. I just was doubting myself now whether I introduced those. So this is the Game Boy Advanced SP, and that was probably the most rushed intro for the next system. But you know, this one was tricky because I only was given 2 block height to work with, so it made it pretty difficult. This is the same color as my Game Boy SP, which is experiencing some technical difficulties. But here's the. Is this power or is this the volume? I think it's power. And over here, I decided not to put the cartridge in. I thought it kind of looked neater. Made it less square. And here's the volume and the lights, obviously, to power it on. It's pretty basic because you can't really fit much in there. Okay, so moving on, and this is not an iPhone. This is called the Game Boy Micro, and not many people have seen these things. And here, once again, I tried to replicate the Game Boy startup thing. I don't know why. It doesn't. It looks weird. But yeah, I've only seen these in boxes and stuff. I've not seen them in person or held one. This is where the headphone jack is. This is where the cartridge goes, which is kind of weird looking when you see it in person. This is. Is this the power light? I honestly don't remember why that's there. It's something. Oh, here's the disclaimer of like help or eye safety or some ridiculous thing like that. That's where the charger goes, and yeah, that's pretty much it. It's a very small system. It's actually smaller than I believe the first generation iPhones, or about the same size. So yeah, that kind of concludes the Game Boy line. And next, I think I'm gonna tackle the SNES, Super Famicom, the Wii, and Wii U, or I might finish the DS line. Decisions. Anyway, if you enjoyed watching, please subscribe. We really do appreciate it, and we like to thank all of our new subscribers. And yeah, honestly, just your time watching the video is good enough. So anyway, well, see ya, and thank you for watching. And I'm in my hut.